Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I am super excited. I had a delivery arrive today of the amazing book from Fleur Woods that she has just brought out called The Untamed Thread. So they landed quite recently with Fleur in New Zealand and she has been sending them out to people. But I was so lucky to find somewhere local to be able to get this book from, and it arrived in the post today. And I thought I would take a look at it with you. So Fleur is an incredible textile artist and I am just so excited that I'm going to be joining her in March next year for a 5-day deep dive workshop, and to be able to, in advance of that, kind of see her work, touch her work, albeit in the printed form, and just read about her philosophy is just going to be such a blessing. I was originally thinking, oh, I'll keep it for Christmas and I'll put it under the tree, but I couldn't resist. I was like a kid, sort of tearing into the package to get to it, and it's come after a day that was quite a day on the work front. So I think it's going to be just the perfect soothing of my soul, and just the sustenance of my creativity. So even the cover, you can see I'm touching it because it's one of those covers. It does actually have, they've done it amazingly in that it's got these raised, so where those stitches are, it's raised. Around here, it's raised. It's not, obviously, you can't feel all the individual stitches, but the way they have done it is absolutely incredible. So even the spine's gorgeous, just the colours are just absolutely delicious. So it's from Koa Press in New Zealand. Beautiful, calming and so inspiring. Not only is this special book filled with lovely images, textures and colours, it also holds Fleur's encouraging words. It's a breath of fresh air and true inspiration for anyone wanting more creativity in their life. So let's take a little flip through. So spoiler alert, if you're waiting to get your own book and you don't want to have the delight taken away in any way, then obviously you can move on to another video. But I just wanted to show you, and let's just make sure I'm still in frame. Wanted to give you a look at the book. So I just love this. You could put little notes or patterns or things in there. That's the lovely Fleur herself there. I love that she's got the tapestry style sort of curtains there, and what a lovely sunny spot with mountains, etc. Beautiful watercolor work, little stitching motifs on there, poppies. Just love it. Look at this inspiration wall. I really need to. I've actually got a pin board just near here, but I haven't actually been pinning anything on it, but I really need to do that. I want to start actually collecting some images to provide inspiration for the workshop we're going to be doing, which is sort of creating nature's textures through a whole lot of different mediums. So contents, you can see there, lots of lovely inspiration. Beautiful tea. I've actually just made myself a cup of tea, but I will not spill it on the book. It's a cup of tea called Peace. So hopefully it brings me some nice solace along with this lovely book. Love the little pegs, and it's quite funny because sitting right by where my workstation is, I've got random little threads wrapped around dolly pegs as well that clip on a little rack next to me. So I'm just going to love, there's lots of lovely writing in this book, so I'm just going to have such a lovely time reading, but just devouring these images. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm running my hands all over. I'm meant to be just showing you, but I just want to touch it all and connect to it all. How cute's that little photo? Same little fringe that I had. And look at these beautiful painted or dyed fabrics. I can see a landscape already sort of being evoked in that piece there. Beautiful lush fabrics and knitted clothing that Fleur's wearing, and just doing joyful stitching. Where I'm writing a book about why it matters to find your creative home. And I know so many of you who are watching my channel, we have found our creative home in slow stitch in our creative endeavors. So I just, yeah, I think this is just going to be such a wonderful book to read and to relate to. I think I will definitely find myself nodding and going, yep. Gardens, she takes Fleur takes a lot of her inspiration from nature, and I do love my garden as well. They almost look like hops plants. I don't know if they are hops. And look at that, beautiful blankets. I better again make sure I haven't gone off screen when I've been just sort of tilting it to, because the light is reflecting a little bit off. Hopefully it's not too, it's a not a super glossy, it's got a bit of gloss to the pages, but it's yeah, hopefully not reflecting. But yeah, lots of woolen blankets. So in fact, that's what I've got underneath me here. This is the woolen blanket that I'm stitching on and into, including some lovely painting with thread over this flower. I finished the lower sections. I've still got to do the upper flower. But this was the blanket that travelled out with Alex's mum from Budapest after the war. And it's just been so lovely to stitch into because it gives you such a solid base. And then more beautiful materials. Tins of beads, don't we love those? Lots of lovely writing to enjoy. So I'm going to just absolutely, yeah, indulge in. Table there looks just like the one that Nana and Grandpa had. Just so evocative. More of that beautiful watercolour with stitched and other images on it. Such a beautiful book, this. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you. A joy. That's from Rumi, who it's amazing. It's amazing, the small world. This piece that you can see up here has a Rumi quote on it. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. So there you go. Now I have to just straighten myself up again so you can see. So yeah, I love Rumi. I've been to Rumi's hometown. Textures and colours and contrasts. Look at that. Sort of the intense colours and then the background that sort of draws a combination of those together. Create a nature or forage flat lay, then capture the details with your phone for easy future reference. Isn't that fun? So yeah, that's what I want to start doing, sort of having a bit of a creative journal for inspiration. And these are some of the amazing naturescapes, seascapes evoking yeah, what you find on the seashore that Fleur creates. And I believe at the workshop, the deep dive we're going to be doing, we will be doing clay creation. So that's what she has done here. So that's going to be fabulous. I love working with clay, working with my hands. Beads. Secondhand store wandering. So I think Fleur is definitely a kindred spirit amongst us. We all love our op shops, our charity stores, our secondhand wandering. And how delightful is this? Wow. Look at those little bunches of blossoms. Treasure hunting. We all love treasure hunting. Today's Thrifty Thursday. I've already posted my video early today. Well, just scheduled it to play early today, just with a small little set of finds. Are you someone who collects things? I'd challenge anyone watching this video to say, nope, I'm not someone that collects things. I'm sure we all do. Sometimes many things. Beads and beads. We love our beads for adding little embellishments. And then creating flat lays and taking photos of them. So some great ideas there. More op shops. Noticing nature. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. Henri Matisse. Oh, wow. Yeah, sometimes we just have to slow down and see things at a different scale to see the incredible little worlds within worlds. Shells within shells. Even a flower that looks like it's starting to sort of fall apart. You can learn about form. Bud to bloom and back to seed. And then looking at landscapes and looking at how you can evoke them with different fibres. I'm just, yeah, so fascinated to sort of expand the types of fibres I use in my work and do different things. Really interesting. Tones and textures. Dissecting flowers is a wonderful way to understand their shapes and helps when it comes to drawing or stitching them. What a great idea. I haven't dissected a flower before. I can definitely, well, not sort of, not in that sort of precise way, to study its form. More beautiful inspiration. Connect and create with nature's cycles. Winter. Cozy wool blanket, books, warm socks and hot tea. I know some parts of the world are starting to head towards winter, not there yet, but definitely a time to hunker in. Spring, which is where we are now in Australia. Look at those beautiful brighter tones. Lovely stitching into fabrics. I love to do summer, those summer lush bright colours. Oh, look at that, beautiful. And then autumn, slow days, gather seeds, sip chai, stack and stitch. It's funny, I'm watching a video with the lovely Leanne from Leanne's Crafty Cupboard, and she was talking about how she would have loved to have had a tea house, but then she decided she really probably wouldn't want to run the tea house. She'd just want to sit in the tea house and sip tea and stitch. So yeah, many of us who do our stitching, we do love our tea. I just hope we don't sort of, yeah, spill it on our pieces. Just, yeah, this is what really kind of, yeah, evokes Fleur's work for me. Just this really joyful, abandoned sort of stitching, just adding incredible texture and incredible beauty. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. I guess that's what slow stitch does. It doesn't instantly materialise. It takes a while. We work on bits, we come back to it. It follows its own path. Just love all these little scrappy bits, but then all brought into a cohesive whole through the stitching. Beautiful landscapes. Look at that. Magic, and then just beautiful little flowers stitched across the top. Cantha stitching, which the lovely Annie Claxton, she just loves her cantha stitching, straight stitching. And I could just see Fleur saying there, you could do this repetitively using any stitch. So it's just about doing a stitch over and over again to kind of get that repeated pattern. Joy in the process. Infuse your work with joy. Look at these images. I am going to devour these and just devour them very, very slowly and delightedly. Kind heart, brave mind. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Enjoy the process. Yeah, it's not about the finished product. Sometimes we don't even get to. Sometimes we're working. I think this blanket is going to be one of those. It's not going to be finished when the Roxy project comes to a conclusion in the end of December. I'm going to continue adding things to it because it's a joyful, beautiful, beautiful piece. And it's a piece to play and experiment. Look at these cups. I love that. And the colours as well, beautiful dyeing. I definitely want to do more dyeing as well. And just the intensity of stitching in Fleur's pieces. Look at the back of that, absolutely, absolutely incredible. Just for a moment, I thought this was intense back stitching, but when you compare it to Fleur's, there's actually bits where it's not even sort of stitched over. So my goodness, look at that. No wonder it gets quite, I know Rachel, when she was doing her Fleur Woods piece, she was talking about how it was quite hard on her hands. She needed to kind of take a bit of a break, but that is just exquisite, exquisite. Trying to look what, I think we used felt there, but again, it could be just blanket actually. So definitely interested to learn about what material she uses. Again, I just want to touch this page, the gum blossom. Look, just these little bits of, yeah, just the detail is absolutely incredible. Threads. Collect the frayed edges of textiles and add them to a little tangle jar for future use. My tangle basket revolutionized my sense of freedom when creating with thread. Look at that. Wow. An eye, and so it looks like paper being brought into the, that looks like a paper collage, but it does have some stitching pieces on it as well. Oh, there we are. Collaging with prints of stitched artworks and found papers. Ah, interesting. Detail geek. Paying attention, looking at the detail. It's the detail that defines and refines your piece of work. Look at that. I just want to be that hand. I just want to be that hand touching it. I can't believe I was listening to, oh goodness, what's her name? Does fabulous, Sarah Humphrey does fabulous embroidery videos, and she was trained professionally, and they were taught you can't touch your work. The less you touched it, the better it was. But I mean, this is what we do is the opposite of that. We're always touching our work. It's such a tactile, yeah, such a tactile art form. So many lovely little knots and other little stitches. Pistol, oh no, it almost looks like a blanket stitch. I don't know what that one is. Gonna have to have a look. Make your own rules. I like that. Yeah, there's no right, there's no wrong. If it works, you can do it. The norms were created by somebody, and each of us is somebody. We can make our own normal. I like that. Not that I really aspire to be normal anyway. Life's too short to be normal. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy colours, yummy threads, yummy inspiration. Meaningful mark making. Definitely want to try more of these techniques. Lots of different little mark making samplers. Weaving stitch, paints and threads, colour wheel. Again, something I want to learn more about, colour theory and how to bring that into my work. The most important thing to know about colour is that you can't be wrong. There you go. And then these lovely little, just basic cardboard boxes divided up with little sections of colours in it. And then soft, gentle, subtle, whimsical, and light. And warm. Cool. Greens. Pinks. All neutrals. Very textural as well. Earthy. It's got quite a bit of the warms in it as well. And then all the textures within nature and threads. Don't we love our threads? Inspired by. There we go. Flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. Absolutely. Just bloom. Look at this beautiful inspiration wall. And then some beautiful, oh, just gorgeous. This is kind of what we, I guess, yeah, did with our fabrics and other bits to have as our inspiration for our Roxy treasure hunt pieces. Just, and like incorporating vintage braids and trims into it. I don't know if that's the original blanket kind of coming up from the surface of the stitching. Honouring the story. Tell your story with your whole heart. Art can be both simple and profound, complex and shallow. Most of all, it can match the curtains and still matter. But I'm saying it's about an important point, and it's the whole thing that for a long time I didn't call myself an embroidery artist, a fibre artist, or even an artist, because it all felt too loaded. And it's funny, I've observed, yeah, some people see it just as a craft, but I strongly believe that those of us that are creating, all of us that are creating, we are creating art, we are doing art, we are artists, and we shouldn't be precious about, oh, I'm not an artist, but you're creating and you're sharing it and you're making something, you're making art. I don't know, craft to me just seems to kind of put it into a place, maybe put it into like women's work, or rather than actually recognizing it as something that is beautiful and is artistic. Beautiful water lilies and lily pads. And in fact, for our little stitch along community tonight, we're going to be creating a lily pad in which we will make a water lily flower. And we've got beautiful, beautiful, intense stitched piece there. Gorgeous, gorgeous textures. Create together. Now, I don't often have people physically in my creative space, but I definitely am in other people's creative space through watching their YouTube videos, and I know you join me in my creative space here in my craft room, and it's something that is incredibly precious. But it's going to be so amazing to be in a workshop with fellow creatives and fellow passionate fibre lovers. Studio essentials. That's going to be great to read about what Fleur uses and her preferred tools. There's wool blankets as a base for a textile collage. So there you go. I did it without even knowing that that's how Fleur does hers. I do need to get myself some better frames. I've just got very cheap ones, but need to have a look. And paints, yeah, Fleur's an amazing artist as well, like a painting artist. Lots of ideas there, inspiration. There's Mary Walker. So I got introduced to Mary Walker's poetry through Fleur, through Fleur's newsletter, and I just love her work as well. So it'll be nice to have a look at all the different inspirations that Fleur has. Beautiful purples, glossary, and to my village. That's what I feel like. It's a village, it's a community. We're all supported. And there's Fleur's Labrador, George the Labrador, very much like our Travis the Labrador. So I'm going to have to, Travis is going to be coming with us when I go up to the workshop. He'll be staying with Alex during the days when I'm at the workshop, but I'm sure Fleur might like to meet him and not feel like she's missing George too much when she's in Australia at the workshop. Very cute, George. Pity you can't meet Travis, the friendly Labrador. And another beautiful scene from Fleur's workshop. I just want to go in there and just have a play in that studio. What fun. And I'm glad to see everyone, like all of us out. We have so many beautiful, beautiful things. I have jars right in front of me. I've got jars of buttons. I've got jars of random cut off bits from my pieces, jars of Suffolk puffs, all sorts of things. So I hope you enjoyed that that look. I can't wait for the weekend. The weekend cannot come fast enough because I just want to sink into my comfy chair and just start indulging in it. But I'm going to savor it because I don't want to rush it all in one go. I want to enjoy every moment of that. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon, probably putting into practice some of the things I garner and take inspiration from through this book. Bye everyone, take care, and I will speak to you soon.